In 1977, the universe spoke to humanity. Once, one word. We waited 35 years and replied with 10,000 tweets. This is a true story, every part of it. In the next 9 minutes, you will see the actual printout. You will meet the man who found it, and you will learn why, after almost 50 years, the explanation still does not exist. Last time in the Dark Forest, I promised you this file. Tonight we open it. And by the end, you will have to answer the question yourself. Was it nature or was it a neighbor? August 15, 1977, Ohio. A radio telescope called Big Ear is listening to the sky. It's enormous, larger than 3 football fields. And here is the first strange thing. Nobody is listening with it. The telescope works alone at night, printing what it hears as numbers on paper. Now, days later, the most important moment in human history is about to happen. And for this moment, the universe has chosen an unpaid volunteer at a kitchen table in Ohio. His name is Jerry Amon. He is checking the printouts page after page of boring numbers. 1s, 2s, 3s, the sound of an empty sky. Think about that signal. It may have traveled for 1,000 years, past dying stars through unimaginable cold. All that way to reach a man at a kitchen table, probably in his slippers. And then his eyes stop. 6 characters climbing out of the noise. 6. EQUJ5. What do those characters mean? Jerry knew instantly. Big Ear measured loudness on a ladder. 1 to 9. Then ladders. The quiet sky lives at the bottom of that ladder. U means the signal was 30 times louder than the background of the universe. Jerry had read these printouts for years. He had never seen anything like it. And the shape is the real evidence. The signal rose, peaked and faded. Exactly what a fixed point among the stars looks like when the turning Earth sweeps the telescope past it. Interference from Earth does not throw the curve. This comes from the sky. So Jerry grabs a red pen, circles the 6 characters and writes one word in the margin. Wow. Not coordinates, not a formula, the same word you write under a video of a cat falling off a table. And honestly, it was the greatest decision in the history of science communication. A comedy would have called it Anomaly Number 7, and you would not be watching this video. The red pen made it immortal. Now hold that pen in your mind, because the strangest part of this file is not the signal. It is what humanity did next. We will get there. First, the twist. Because everyone guessed the 72 seconds wrong. Big Ear could not move. It stared at one strip of sky, and the Earth's rotation slowly swept its gaze across the stars. Any fixed point in the sky takes exactly 72 seconds to cross its beam. Do you see what that means? The signal did not last 72 seconds. We lasted 72 seconds. The broadcast could have been running for hours, days, 1,000 years. We walked past the door, heard one sentence through the wall, and kept walking. And now the detail that keeps scientists awake, the frequency. The signal arrived at 1420 MHz, the radio hum of hydrogen, the most common atom in the universe. Every radio astronomer on every world would know that number. If you wanted to be found by a stranger whose language you cannot know, you would choose exactly that channel. Scientists call it the watering hole. One more thing. On Earth, that frequency is protected. It's illegal to broadcast there. We keep it clean for science. So a signal on the one channel every civilization would guess. On a band, no human transmitter is allowed to touch. Coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. That is the file. That is why it will not close. Of course, we looked again. Jerry himself went back. Big Ear returned to that spot more than 50 times. Bigger telescopes joined. Astronomers have searched that patch of sky for decades. Listen to everything they heard back. Nothing. Not a whisper, not once. In almost 50 years. A signal that's strong on a channel that deliberate, and the universe has never said it again. So what was it? Let us line up the suspects. And yes, in the studio, the suspects stand against a wall and hold little numbers. Suspect 1, something from Earth. A satellite, a reflection of space junk. But that band is forbidden and kept clean. And Earth interference does not rise and fall like a star crossing the beam. Released. Suspect 2, comets. This idea made headlines in 2017. Radio astronomers tested it and rejected it. Comets do not shout in narrow channels. Released. Suspect 3, the newest. In 2024, astronomers proposed a cold cloud of hydrogen suddenly flaring bright, maybe lit up by the flash of a magnetar. The magnetic corpse of a giant star. Elegant, possible, unproven. And here is what should bother you. Every time a suspect walks free, the file gets stranger. 50 years of suspect, 0 convictions, which leaves the reading nobody writes in the official papers. You remember the forest, a universe of hunters and hiders where the careful ones stay silent. Now imagine someone in that forest, young, hopeful. For one moment they lean toward the fire, press the button and speak. And then the fear returns. They remember where they live, they say one word and go dark forever. If the wow signal was a voice, it behaved exactly the way the dark forest predicts. One word, then silence. Maybe we did not hear a greeting. Maybe we heard a mistake. And now I keep my promise from the red pen. What humanity did next. In 1998, big ear, the only ear that ever heard the universe say hello, was torn down for a golf course. I want to be fair, humanity needed that land for golf. Right now, somewhere on that course, a man is angry about a sand trap standing on the exact spot where we heard the cosmos speak, but we did answer. In 2012, we aimed a giant Arecibo dish at that exact spot in Sagittarius and beamed a reply. And what did humanity say to a possible alien civilization on the one channel that ever spoke to us? 10,000 messages from Twitter. That was the actual plan. A television channel collected tweets and we fired them into space. Every message included a hashtag. It was required. Somewhere out there, the first human sentence a neighbor may ever read is a tweet. So nature or neighbor? You know I owe you a verdict. The scientist in me says probably nature. Some rare flare we have seen once and will one day understand. That is where the evidence leans. But I will be honest about what bothers me. It is not the signal, it is us. The universe may have knocked exactly once, and we heard it with one ear for 72 seconds, and then we turned the ear into a golf course. We did not fail to hear the answer, we failed to keep listening. And I cannot even be angry, because I would have gone to the golf course too. Listening is boring, swinging a stick is fun. That's us, that's the whole species. Now it's your turn. In the comments, nature or neighbor? One word, then defend it. And subscribe, because the next file is stranger than this one. In 2017, something entered our solar system. Not a signal this time, an object, and it was moving wrong.